Hi guys and welcome to Trustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What you're looking at is the 2025 BMW X5. This is the diesel that we're driving today, and as always, let's begin with the design. But before that, let me give you a brief history of what the X5 has been all about. It is BMW's most important product in the entire lineup. The X5 has been responsible for how the SUVs have been shaped. For the longest time, the X5 has been the flagship SUV for the brand, but until a couple of years ago, it was the X7 that took the crown from the X5. So the X5 has always been about the absolute best that BMW can provide in the SUV space, and it is a very important vehicle for them. The X5 here got a mild update internationally in 2023, in late 2023. It came to India last year. Today is finally the time we're getting to test drive the vehicle, and of course we've test driven it for you guys to tell you exactly what it's been like. And what I can clearly say that the experience has clearly been really good. How exactly? Let's find out. You can see the very menacing front end. It's got a very aggressive design now. The grille is big enough, but it doesn't connect with the headlamps here. And you've got these arrow shaped LED DRLs which look very good, along with the subtle hint of those blue items over there, elements over there, that makes it really stand out. And the huge aluminum, sort of brushed aluminum grille, makes it really good. It's an active grill, so it switches on and off on the inside depending on how the radiator wants cooling or not. You've got the lower half has some vents as well, and that is your ADAS radar right there. Pretty massive bonnet, but mostly clean lines, but still looking quite menacing, quite big. And you've got the M Sport variant here, so you've got the grill sort of effect on the front bumpers here. Really large 21-inch alloy wheels, low profile tires, which you have to be careful about. Just look at this iconic stance, and something that you will be want to be looking forward to for quite some time after a couple of years, because the new Class A vehicle that will replace this new X5 will have a dramatically new look with very few elements from this particular design. So this is one of the last BMW boxy sort of SUVs with this traditional look, with the very large glass, very large door, and you've got this Hofmeister kink, of course, which will continue in the new car. But the big highlight is that the rear design. This is what is quintessential BMW since quite a lot of time, and this is something that has always characterized what the BMW SUV has all been about. It's tall, it's got a big tailgate, and you've got these huge LED DRLs at the back in terms of stop lamp. It's got a split tailgate as well, and with both of them are powered, which is quite brilliant. And you've got this massive blind here, and this is the X5's of course been always a 5-seater. There were rumors that it will be one day 7-seater, but BMW came out with an all new 7-seater, the X7. So that is why you get a massive 600 plus liters of boot space. It's got a lot of practicality built into it. You've got those lights here, you've got your hook here, which absolutely works well. 12-volt socket to charge multiple items together, and yeah, you can sit here on this. It can take any amount of load. Let me just show you. It feels rock solid indeed. So that's that. Once you press the electric tailgate, the first one, the lower one goes first, and then you are front, rear and side electronic parking brake and camera is on offer. And this is something that is really enjoyed from the quarter angle here. This looks really good. It's got a very menacing stance. It is one of the sportiest SUVs in India and pretty much around the world as well. The way the X5 turns out to be in terms of design has always been very similar to the original one, and that is what gives it this legacy iconic look that everybody really wants in their garage, just like me. So yeah, let's get at the back now. Look at these humongous seats. Sitting behind my own driving position, I am sitting slightly knees up, but knee room is great, foot room is good, headroom of course is generous, and you've got manual sun blinds, space to keep some stuff, your dedicated AC vents, hook, and there is a light here. So you've got your own climate control, dual zone climate control at the back and at the front, so it makes it 4-zone. You can mount anything here, or if you don't, you can use this as a charging point indeed. So that's brilliant. You have your own charging points here as well. You can keep a lot of things here. Huge sunroof, and let me get back to that in a bit. Let me show you what the armrest has always been about. Two really big cup holders. No wonder this vehicle does really well in America as well, where it's probably made for a good amount of good part of the world. In India, of course, it's assembled here. The door pads are also big enough. You've got the ambient lighting. Quality is top notch. The plastics feel great. The leather feels great. The wooden element here feels great. Everything is really high quality at the back and as well as at the front, which I will tell you in a bit. It is absolutely hot right now, but let me still show you the massive sunroof, which brings in a lot of light inside this cabin indeed. And as you can see, this is absolutely brilliant. Apart from that, yeah, it is a comfortable place to be. Taller people will sort of not really love the under thigh support that is on offer here, but it's good enough for my 5'11" frame, so it should be good enough for more than average Indian people. So in the Indian aspect, this still continues to be one of the best cars in terms of backseat experience. Of course, there is room for improvement, but nevertheless, this is actually quite brilliant to be sat in the back. There should have been a boss mode here, because vehicles like this, at least in India, are, let's say, chauffeur driven, but regardless, you can always push it to the front and enjoy the chauffeur driven experience. There will be somebody to do it for you also. So that's that. And let me just show you, this is a diesel with the AdBlue. Let's get inside the front and let me show you the kind of features you have. You have this full powered and memory seats. And yeah, very chunky, very solid doors, very heavy doors indeed. And you've got a really good seat in terms of adjustment and comfort. As you can see, the under thigh support extends quite a lot to the front, and I can do all of that from here. If I press this 2, which is denoting the passenger seat, I can use the buttons here, and you can see the seat is moving. So that is something that you can do it for your parents or somebody like that who are unable to understand the seat adjustments and everything on your own. So you can do all of that. There's a lot of adjustment. And yeah, let me just tell you about the cabin and the dashboard. This screen is entirely new. Earlier there were just 2 different screens. Now it is in line with the new BMWs, where you get this big screen here. Apologies for the AC. It is unbelievably hot right now, and so it is going to cause some disturbance in terms of sound. I'll try and maximize it as much as possible. So you're aware of the screen already. You know what is on offer. You've got your own HUD as well, if you can see. Yeah, there it is. So that's that. Tons of information on offer when it comes to the car. You've got your own personal assistant. Voice controls are easier. In terms of seat comfort, you can see there is heating and cooling, and this explains what the seats are like. Go into all apps or just infotainment apps, then this is just the vehicle app. You have the ambient lighting, which is everybody's favorite, and you have, let's say, 10 to 15 colors to choose from, unlike rivals which offer quite a lot more. But these colors are typical BMW. You get this wonderful thing here which illuminates in the night and looks really nice and is very unique to the luxury car brands altogether, and I think that's fantastic. Every car maker has their own niche. BMW has their own, which is brilliant. The crystallized lever is always welcome. It feels really nice to hold. You've got the adjustable suspension, air suspension, which can be up, lowered or taken higher with the touch of a button here, which is brilliant. And as you can see, if I press this, ground clearance vehicle will be adjusted to level 1. That's what it says. So if you can notice, the vehicle's bonnet is coming up, and that's actually quite great. The heating and cool, at least the climate control has this feature here. If I go into individual settings, you can see you can adjust the heating of the seat and the distribution of the heating as well. So whether you want the base or the back to heat up very specifically, it can do that. And if you're feeling cold only in any of these areas, you can switch on any of them and enjoy the full heating as quickly as possible, because it's not there for cooling, but it's definitely there for heating. And you can select the settings for very high in cooling, at least, so that you can use it's a great thing, but it doesn't really distribute the cooling from the base and the back support, which I think should have been there. It would have been ideal, because for the seat cooling, it's also ideal that it blows maximum right here. It also comes a little bit from here as well, so that would have been possible, but that's not a big problem. The seat coolers work really well. And you've got a 12-volt socket, charging point, wireless pads, mobile storage, and it can be closed like this to give it a very nice clean look. You've got these defogger buttons and play forward and reverse buttons on here. You know, the driving modes, the auto hold, the hill descent, the iDrive, all of it works really well. But this sort of screen that is now we're seeing in new BMWs can get a little bit you know, take some time getting used to. But these are the four main things here which will help you navigate through all the four things easily, and there will be less options to choose from. So that I think is does the job, but there is a better need for simplifying this one as well. The older system was actually quite brilliant, which can be sort of seen within the, you know, options here, and it all used to be like this, but now you have to go through here and then go through here, and that is something that is you will have to do. But the screens, graphic, fonts, colors, layout, everything is brilliant. The AC works really well. As you can see, it is absolutely hot right now, and yeah, it has finally chilled the cabin to an extent where I can lower it a little bit. IRVM, that is of course an accessory, you know, which I don't think is going to come with the car. It's a dash cam recorder. Harman Kardon sound systems is really good for this car, and as always, this screen here is highly let's say compatible with everything. You can change the layout and all together, and this is always the coolest part of the new BMWs, which looks really nice. And yeah, in terms of parking and parking maneuvers, the rear camera is a 360-degree unit. It's pretty brilliant in terms of quality. The cameras work really well. It's got a reversing assistant, so it will know how I came and it will go automatically on its way out. So that's great. As always, there's a lot of space here. There is illumination as well, but there is no chilling. There is some space here and a charging point here as well, which is quite good. And yeah, quality, everything is brilliant. This is one of the most highest quality cars BMW makes. There's no denying that this feels really good. Anything that you touch is very soft touch. Everything that you touch is very high quality, and I really like this interior. Despite it's on the lighter side, I usually like dark colors because of this element here, and you know, the whole thing is just the lines on the door pads and everything, the stitching, the brushed aluminium, all of it comes together really well, and we're really impressed with what the car has to offer, including a electronically adjustable steering, which is always welcome in you know, luxury cars. So yeah, that's that. Let's now jump to the driving part of the diesel 6-cylinder unit. So guys, we're out driving the BMW X5 6-cylinder diesel engine that is called the X5 xDrive 30D. This is a 270 PS engine making 650 Nm of torque, made it to BMW's fantastic and brilliant 8-speed gearbox from ZF. And this is something that is a very smooth engine. It's a refined engine. It revs all the way freely and quickly, and you can really have fun with this car. But what makes it really fun, and something that I've been waiting myself for quite some time, is to sample the mild hybrid system on the 6-cylinder engine. And this is one of the most sorted out mild hybrid systems, because it ends up giving 12 PS more and 200 Nm of torque more. So this makes it a 280 PS and 850 Nm torque engine, which is quite a lot. And as you can see, I'm on a very open stretch of road right now. Immediately from 60, it's doing 100, and that shows the kind of power and torque this engine has. In fact, for a diesel engine, it even sounds brilliant. So that is one of the characteristics that is kept alive since quite a lot of time, and I think that's fantastic to see even today, because this finally meets all the latest regulation norms that we've seen from BMW, from the government coming in, and BMW you know, using it and applying it on their engines, and still not losing the kind of character and the kind of fun and the kind of feel and feedback that you even get from an engine is still present, which I think is pretty brilliant to have even today. And yeah, in terms of drivability, it's really good. In the city, on the highway, you always have power all the time. But if you look very carefully, you will find that you know, there is a bit of lag that is you know, seen in the lower rev range, but then I don't think that is a huge problem. The automatic gearbox masks it quite well, and this is something that is quite brilliant. to see, because an engine that can perform so well is delivering good on drivability, good on performance, and good efficiency as well. This engine can actually deliver 9 to 10 kilometers within the city and 14 to 16 on the highway, which I think is spectacular for an engine that is doing 0 to 100 in just 6 seconds. And it's something that I am really appreciating. Getting off the line, like doing 100, I believe this is doing 0 to 100 in 6 seconds or maybe even quicker. And this is the fun part of this car. Along with great fuel efficiency, you're getting fantastic performance. The refinement is spot on. The engine feels nice. It sounds nice. So everything just comes together really well. I told you the ZF 8-speed automatic is always brilliant. It's turning out to be quite reliable as well. When I see the reports of how the reliability is turning out to be. So this something is something that gives it an edge over its rivals as well. So really amazed at the powertrain as always. It retains its character to a very large extent. Some of its magic is gone, but you can't help it. I appreciate the refinement. I appreciate the efficiency being very close to the previous numbers. Of course, this is the first time I'm driving the X5, but I have driven the 530D and the diesel engine in the X4 as well, this particular one. And I was quite impressed with this engine, and I still continue to be, even after all the regulations that are being thrown at it, to make it emissions friendly and all of that. So pretty impressed with what this has to offer. But we've not been to the best part yet. The handling, very precise. Steering is very light, very precise at any given speed, and this is something that will really impress you. Body roll is well in check. Side to side movements are well in check, and you will really enjoy this car. The kind of handling along with the engine that this car offers makes it really fun to drive. This is an M Sport with 21-inch run flat low profile tires, so it does corner like it's on rails. If you're really pushing it, you will encounter some part of body roll and something that will make you realize that after all this car has good ride quality as well. So you can appreciate that as well from time to time. Adjustable air suspension makes things very good, and it keeps people quite comfortable. Even the most demanding people who've sat in this car, they said that they really appreciated the ride quality and the front and at the back as well. So this is something that is of high praise coming in from people who are experiencing cars just like me. And when you get it as well, you will be really impressed with this car. This is one of the last few BMW X vehicles that are going to get this typical dashboard and typical steering. The new generation is going to be very different from what it is right now, which will come a couple of years later. And it's sort of already a nostalgia feeling getting behind these vehicles, because we know what the new BMW X3 is like, what other vehicles are going to be like on the new Class A platform. They will not be devoid of all of this entirely, but this large old school feeling will cease to exist someday. Something that you and I, who are in our mid-30s, are accustomed to seeing every now and then with every update that BMW brought in the last 2 decades. We were so impressed with seeing all of this. Some of it will go away, and this is one of the last few cars that will really be very close to our hearts, and that is what makes it special for me, at least. Of course, everybody wants all new and all exciting things, but this is the thing from our era, so I feel very much connected to this sort of platform of what this car has always been. That's it for now. If you still have some questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be very happy to answer it. Until then, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.